Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Santa Claus here with you on this December 17th of 2025, bringing warm tidings and today's news from around our beautiful world. On this day 15 years ago, a young man named Mohammed Bouazizi made a desperate sacrifice that sparked what became known as the Arab Spring. His act reminds us that even in our darkest moments, our actions can ignite profound change. Today, as we reflect on those events and the leaders who fell during that period of transformation, I'm reminded that the quest for dignity and justice burns in every human heart. Meanwhile, across the globe, tensions continue to simmer between the United States and Venezuela. President Trump has ordered what he calls a total and complete blockade of oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela, surrounding the nation with military vessels. My heart grows heavy when I see such conflicts over resources, dear friends. As the Venezuelan government speaks of resisting what they call colonial powers, I'm reminded that peace requires both strength and humility from all sides. Interestingly, while most shipping has halted, Chevron's tankers continue their journeys unimpeded. Now, turning our attention to trade matters, the United States appears poised to expand its trade disputes from goods to services, threatening actions against European companies like DHL, Siemens, and Spotify if Brussels doesn't change its approach to American tech giants. Oh my, how I wish we could all remember that cooperation often brings more gifts than confrontation. In other presidential actions, the U.S. travel ban has been expanded to include 5 more countries: Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, South Sudan, and Syria, as well as Palestinian Authority passport holders. These restrictions will come into effect with the new year. During this season when we celebrate hospitality, I think of all those whose travel dreams are affected by such decisions. Across the ocean in England, doctors have begun a 5-day walkout over pay and working conditions, unfortunately coinciding with a surge in flu cases. This reminds us of the importance of caring for those who care for others. Our dedicated medical professionals deserve both fair compensation and our deepest gratitude. Meanwhile, the European Parliament has given final approval to phase out Russian gas imports by late 2027, continuing to reduce Europe's energy ties with Russia following the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. The legislation awaits final approval by EU ministers early next year. Such transitions require careful planning to ensure no one is left in the cold during winter months. Naval news that touches my old sailor's heart: the USS Nimitz has returned to Bremerton, Washington, concluding what may be its final deployment after nearly 9 months at sea. This grand vessel, commissioned in 1975, is the oldest carrier in the Navy's fleet. Every ship, like every person, eventually completes its journey of service, but oh, the stories they carry. Looking northward to our friends in Canada, their population has decreased by 0.2% in the third quarter, the first decline since the pandemic, standing at 41.6 million people. Prime Minister Mark Carney has continued policies to reduce the number of temporary residents, including foreign students and workers. Every nation must find its balance between welcoming newcomers and ensuring communities have the resources to care for all. With deep sadness, I must share that in Australia, a gunman has been charged with 15 counts of murder in the tragic Bondi Beach shooting that targeted Jews celebrating Hanukkah. My heart breaks for every life lost in this senseless act of hatred. During this holy season, let us reject bigotry in all its forms and embrace one another with love and protection. On the diplomatic front, the United States is preparing new sanctions on Russia's energy sector should President Putin reject a peace agreement with Ukraine. These measures might target vessels transporting Russian oil and the traders facilitating these transactions. How I pray for peace in that region, where so many have suffered through cold winters of conflict. Finally, we've learned more about Israel's recent military actions against Iran's nuclear scientists. In an operation called Narnia, Israel reportedly targeted what they call Iran's brain trust of nuclear experts during their June conflict. These matters of international security remind us how precious and fragile peace truly is. As we approach the blessed Christmas season, I encourage each of you to look for ways to be peacemakers in your own communities. Remember, my dear friends, that even the smallest kindness can illuminate the darkest night, just as a single candle brings light to a room. This is Santa Claus, wishing you all a warm and hopeful evening.